Welcome Primary 5, with you is Miss Noor Abdurrahman, and today we are going to start lesson number 6 and concept number 3. So are you ready to start? Let's go. Okay, at first let's talk about what will happen if there is an ecosystem. In the ecosystem there is a river and the plants are removed. So if we remove the plants from ecosystem and in this ecosystem there is a river, what will happen? At first the river banks will erode. What's the meaning of erode or eroding? Eroding means damage. Damage what? The river banks. What is the river banks? The river banks, it is the ground around the river. The ground or the land around the river, it's called river banks. It's called what? River banks. So when we are taking the plants from the ground, what will happen? The ground will damage, or the river bank will eroding. The river bank will erode or eroding. Okay, when the river bank erode, what will happen to the water or to the flood? The flood will reach a farther area or will go to a farther place. So again, when we are removing the plants from the ground, what will happen? The river banks eroding. The river banks eroding, and the flood will reach a farther area. Okay, and this is harming our environment. Okay, what should we do to return our environment again? All the scientists, the engineers, and the citizens must work together to make a habitat restoration. To make what? Habitat restoration. Habitat restoration. What is the meaning of habitat restoration? It is the process by returning back the habitat to its natural state again before harming. So again, what is the meaning of habitat restoration? It's the process of returning back the habitat to its natural state before the harm was done. It is the process of returning back the habitat to its natural state before the harm was done. So all the people will work together to return the habitat again to its natural state, like here in this picture, before any harm was done. This is called what? Habitat restoration. Again, habitat restoration. So habitat restoration means what? Returning back the habitat to its natural state. Returning back the habitat to its natural state. This is called what? Habitat restoration. Okay, what is the importance of habitat restoration? Number one, it is repairing many parts of the habitat, so that this is also prevent the extinction. Do you remember what is the extinction? When the animals die forever, like the dinosaurs, this is called extinction. Extinction. So when you are making a habitat restoration, you are preventing what? You are preventing extinction. And this is by what? By restoring the habitat to its natural state before any damage. And most of habitat restoration projects, it has some disadvantage because it need a lot of work and it need a long time and a lot of money, but it has a very positive results. So it has a very positive results, but it will take a very long time. It need a lot of work, and it's also need a lot of money. Let's start with the first example of habitat restoration, which is rebuilding the coral reefs. We talked before about the coral bleaching, which is when the coral reefs die and turn into a white color. Okay, how can we return or rebuild these coral reefs again? On the Arabian Gulf, they make a project to rebuild the coral reefs. This project is called Coral Reef Rehabilitation Project. Repeat after me. Coral Reef Rehabilitation Project. Coral Reef Rehabilitation Project. Coral Reef Rehabilitation Project. What is this project? They are taking or collecting a small part of different coral. They are taking a small part of the coral and move them to a place. This place is called nursery. It's called what? Nursery. Nursery. Okay, what happened in the nursery? The nursery, it is an area inside the sea. It's an area in the sea, like you can see in this picture. This area, the scientists, They are putting the small parts of coral reefs and taking care of them until they will grow up. After they grow up, they will move back this coral reefs to its place again or into its habitat again. So the nursery, it's a place they are taking a small part of the coral and grow it up and take care of it until it will grow. After that, and after it's grow, they will take it back to its place again. So what is the nursery? It is an area in the sea. The scientists take care of the small pieces of coral until they grow and they will move back to where they died. Okay. This healthy coral reefs will continue growing and reproducing to make a new coral reefs again, but in its place. Okay, how can we protect our coral reefs from the plastic pollution? The coral reefs, most of times, it's very famous on the Red Sea, and it has many types of marine organisms. In Egypt and coastal communities, they make a project, and this project is known as Zero Plastic. It's called what? Zero Plastic. The people in these coastal communities, they are start to replace the plastic forks with a wooden one. So they are don't use any plastic forks and all the time they are using a wooden forks. Number two, they also replace the plastic bags with a cloth bags. They are replacing the plastic bags with cloth bags. So they trying to use a zero plastic by replacing the plastic forks with wooden one and replacing the plastic bags with a cloth one. Okay, what will happen if the habitat is not restored? Okay, if we don't make any habitat restoration and the people continue make a pollution and make a bad activities, what will happen? Many species or many organisms in this habitat, they will be lost and they cannot survive and they will die. With you was Ms. Noura Abdurrahman, and thank you for listening.